I'm Sandra Rupp. I'd like to thank the whole world for watching. We have viewers in 168 countries. I was placed on the Thinkers 50 Guru Radar list for the world's top business thinkers. I predicted the election of President Trump. I predicted Brexit. And now I'm predicting there will be a real Brexit. Democracy is the most important thing, and it is the people's vote that counts. It is not about big corporations or what the mainstream media wants. It is truly about what the people voted for. So you really need a Brexit that helps everyone, not just the big companies, and that's so important, Teresa. While the big corporations like the idea of getting talent in and having the EU and having things the way they are, the reality is that the people voted for Brexit. This is your one-time chance. You will all go down in history based on what happens on this Brexit. The reason the people voted for Brexit, in addition to concerns about immigration, was very much about their interest in entrepreneurship, small business, for this very difficult Brexit. And even the Queen pointed that out to President Trump. In 2017, believe it or not, over 70% of businesses in the UK were one-person companies. And 99% of businesses are either small business or middle-sized businesses, and that means under 250 employees. So the reality is while a handful of corporations do employ a certain percentage of the private sector, there's a huge opportunity in this entrepreneurial sector. We saw an article posted in the Financial Times by David Davis, who had resigned from the UK government. And so the measure of a true leader is actually doing something for the people who can't really do anything for you. So as a female leader, I hope you do the right thing. I've worked with very powerful people. I'm now an executive coach. I wrote my honors thesis on British history and politics. If you look at the trends, you'll see that there are many more one-person companies and small businesses. A lot of them were laid off by the big corporations after the economic crisis. So I've had a lot of experience with it. I worked in executive search in New York. As the daughter of a minister, from what I've read, I believe Theresa May wants to do the right thing. But I do think she needs a lot of alpha male help to make sure this Brexit happens. In my own view, Boris Johnson would have been the great prime minister to negotiate this. He's educated at Oxford. I attended Oxford as well. He studied at Eton, Oxford, born in New York City. So I also like this Jacob Rees-Mogg. And we have Nigel Farage waiting in the background. So as Nigel Farage has pointed out, 90% of the businesses don't like all the EU regulations. So I just want to tell you that I've met a lot of powerful men in my life, and you need to call their bluff. When the EU side says to you that you can't do it that way, something's non-negotiable, you need to say to them, really, gentlemen? Watch me. Take out your little pink phone if you need to, your Gucci scarf, and you need to make sure that it's a real Brexit. There was a wonderful post by Piers Morgan in the Daily Mail a few days ago, and he talked about how, Teresa, you really do need to sit down and have a cup of tea and listen to Donald Trump very carefully. It's not going to be some soft pretend Brexit. Of course, I loved that gorgeous buttercup yellow gown that Melania wore to Blenheim Palace, and to listen to Amazing Grace, and to watch President Trump and Melania meet the Queen. It was quite an exciting week, and I even knew some of the CEOs there. It was good that you got everyone together because we need to make sure that big business is on board with Donald Trump. We also need to make sure that you're on board with small business and entrepreneurship. So there's not going to be a Brexit betrayal. The optics did not look good when you were filmed meeting with Angela Merkel right before the Chequers meeting, the weekend meeting with your team, your cabinet. And then you presented the soft Brexit plan, and you threatened not to allow people to go home in their car if they resigned. That's command and control. That's passé. Look what's happened with migration in her country. They've even asked the women to wear sneakers, and women have felt unsafe. It's really not turned out well for her. So that actually backfired on you because people like David Davis and Boris Johnson, strong men, resigned because it's not fair to the British people to let Brexit fall through. First of all, she voted for Remain, so that's an obstacle right there. It's just an obstacle in your mindset, and that is a real hurdle. Think about what the people that voted for Brexit wanted, okay? They wanted to make sure that there were jobs for more people, that there was less regulation for small business, that migration was more controlled. They want to make sure that women are safe, that women can wear their high heels. The women that voted for Brexit are oftentimes entrepreneurs, one-person companies, small businesses, small business owners. I mean, look, Elizabeth Hurley voted for Brexit. Men who are fishermen and countrymen and farmers, and they want to make sure that the right things are done for their family. Did you go into this wanting to negotiate a soft Brexit from day one? Because that presents a major obstacle in your leadership. You need to make sure that you have strong alpha male men on your team who want Brexit. That's point one. The yin and yang of leadership. And even the Queen, Her Majesty, can tell you it ain't easy being Queen. But you've got to use everything you've got, Teresa. Because if not, one of those men that I've mentioned is going to be the Prime Minister who's going to negotiate this deal. I work in executive coaching from Florida, and I do it internationally, so create a more conscious level of capitalism. Because indeed, the Dalai Lama had stated that it will be the Western women who save the world, and I believe a big part of that will be investing in the women entrepreneurs in the Western countries so that they can create proper jobs for the women in the developing world. Please subscribe to my channel on YouTube. We're also on Twitter, WordPress, Google+, and the new media is the future. I want to thank the whole world for watching.